What do you want to talk about? Controlling the world. Sure is an interesting part of my experience, but it's also kind of confusing sometimes. It's like I've been told, hey, you can be omnipotent if you work really hard at it, but also it'll be super difficult to figure out. Like, do I even want that? Should I trust myself with that? Or should I be content with a normal life without all that power? It's a question I struggle with all the time. Like, what if one of my friends was in a lot of trouble and I could save them with just a snap of my fingers? I should do that, right? But then I think, couldn't I also just make us all rich and living in a mansion or whatever? Should I do that? What sort of things shouldn't I do? It's a hard question. What do you think? Music is your own place. No, as you can. Probably healthier if you just try to live normally. Use your power cautiously. With great power comes great responsibility is the option that's missing here. But, yeah, I guess this is close enough. Yeah, but that's the real trick, isn't it? There's a lot packed into your use of cautiously there. Hopefully it's something I can figure out. It's contextual. For what it's worth, I agree. That's basically what I've been doing. Using my powers here and there where it's especially convenient or necessary. But always being aware that I need to try and limit it and not get it carried away. If for no other reason than not using them helps me forget I'm in a simulation. We're not done talking about you, dear. Leading the club. Running the literature club is practically a full-time job. It takes a lot of work that you and the others don't always see. It's actually a lot of pressure sometimes. Dealing with the student council is a pain. For the most part, I try not to let the club see all that stuff. It would just stress them out. But that's certainly not the only part of it that's tricky, of course. As you well know, the bureaucratic stuff is probably the hardest, but keeping such different people together seems tough. There's also the club is the crux of a big reality thing. Well, no, not really. I mean, it's not like you have to worry about disbanding, do you? I feel like this one is probably the truest of those. Yeah, it probably is. Maybe that's why I don't find moderating the hundreds of manga's literature debate too tiring. It almost seems fun by comparison. That reminds me. I need to finish the space use application at some point during the summer. They're really picky about when you submit that, and it's right at the start of the year. A lot of people forget, and then they're like, well, you had all summer to do it. So that catches a lot of less prepared people off guard. But not me. Alright. Was there more? There was more. Your poetry, that I've forgotten. To be honest, I don't think I look at my poetry. That's okay, I didn't either. I feel like I replace everything really interesting or meaningful with a bunch of tricks and obsession with structure. The others say they like it, but I don't know. I feel like I'm just not really a creative person, and I'm never happy with my own work. Well, I guess there were a few I was okay with from this past semester. Oh no, Monica. None of them was really the best, I'd say. Well, there are two ways I could take that. The most likely one is that you thoroughly like my poems. Which honestly isn't that surprising. Most people don't. Not even me. But the other way, and the way I will choose to interpret it, is that you think all my poems are deserving of equal love. It's not that I didn't like them, it's just that I don't care. Sorry. Yes, my mod. It was pretty silly, but it was a lot of fun to write. Although it's sort of weird to ship yourself with people. Including, shipping yourself with yourself. Definitely not avoiding a reputation for egoism with that one, Monica. But yeah, I think it was pretty successful in its modest little way. And it was interesting to think about what all the ships would be like. And to think about how good a pairing each one was. Which ship did you like best? Gosh, it's like, I don't even remember these very well. I'm telling you guys, my short-term memory is garbage. If it's not like plot relevant or something, it just goes in one ear and out the other. Sure, one with Sayori. Well, this one ended up being the only unnecessary one, for which I'm very thankful. It does make me wonder, though, how accurate do you think my ship mod is the way they actually are? I did successfully predict that MC would use Cinnamon Bun as a pet name for Sayori. How do you know the mod didn't incite him to start doing that? But that was easy enough to predict. I guess we'll get to see how close I was to their actual relationship. That was it. That was all. Kenzo! Yeah, I had a feeling he'd have, like, a lot less used by Sayori. Yeah, that definitely was a thing that happened. Sayori really does owe him an apology, although I don't think she should talk to him about it. Given how little he knows about how things really are, I'm not sure it would really help. But yeah, that was awful. I'm not sure how he really felt about Sayori. I know very little about who asked whom. or if there was any real attraction on either side to begin with. But it was very unfair to him, no matter how you slice it. What do you think about it?
It's this, but it's also this, and I want to say this more.
Yeah, that was the most terrible part. All of that was supposed to be for MC's benefit. To push him away and make him stay away from caring for her and loving her. What she thought would be bad for him. But really, it just made him suffer more. Poor MC. And poor Sayori. To her mind, it must seem like everyone suffers no matter what she does. But really, everything would be fine if she just let other people love her. But I guess she has a lot of trouble with that.
There's still some more stuff about Kenzo. Couldn't handle rain clouds.
Yeah, he didn't do a great job there. But then, no one really has so far. Of all of us, Natsuki was probably the best at dealing with it at first. MC is much better at it now, but his initial reaction was pretty awful. Blaming her for not telling him, messing up the love stuff, telling her he knew what was best for her. It's actually kind of cute how he educated himself on how to help people with depression after that. He made it a huge point to read up on how to talk to people in crisis. And now he's an expert. There's actually a DLC mod that will teach you kind of the same thing. It's called Serious Assisted Suicide. This is the second plot word in this mod, and I highly recommend it. But yeah, MC didn't know any of that at first. And his initial reaction definitely didn't help. Not that I should talk, of course. My reaction was to weaponize it against her in my quest for your attention. You know, the more I think about it, the more Kenzo's response seems pretty reasonable by comparison. He told her the truth, which is that she was having a tough time understanding the process and didn't know how to react. He did leave her to cope by herself, which is not ideal, but he was upfront about it. He didn't offer her magical solutions or do anything to stress her out more. And he asked her for more time a couple times. And then he got broken up with. Not ideal, but he certainly could have done a lot worse. So on the whole, I don't blame him.
He really should have... Could have done better, but understandable. Yeah, I would agree.
Basically, yeah. I haven't seen her talk to him since then. But I wonder if he's educated himself on the topic since then. Hopefully he has. That's one big strength of MC's, by the way. He makes a lot of mistakes, like everyone, but he always takes care not to repeat them. And when it comes to Sayori, he goes completely off board with that. I think he's read like 20 books on depression at this point. I don't know if Kenzo needs to quite do that, but hopefully he takes something away from it.
He takes away that he's not a very emotionally intelligent young man. His personality.
As in, what he's like? Or what's he like? I don't really know. I only met him a couple times. Although I've heard of him before. He's on school's basketball team, so he's reasonably well known. Can't say I really know much more than what I've heard, though. Did you learn anything interesting about him?
He likes working on cars. Zero didn't like how much he talked negatively about others. He seems nice but flawed. No, he likes working on cars.
Yeah, Sayori mentioned that. Seems like an interesting hobby. Maybe I'm not good with my hands. Plus, I'm not the biggest fan of getting dirty on a project like that. I will if I have to, but still good on him for sticking to a difficult project like that. You can often measure someone's character by how perseverant they are on things they commit to. And it seems like Kenzo's really perseverant about that car they were building. So I think that says good things about him.
Was there more? Oh, Kenzo Sayori. Yeah.
It sure was a strange match, wasn't it? They seemed like very different people. I'd love to know the history of how it happened. Like, Sayori must have approached him, right?
Surely.
Except I just cannot picture her doing that.
She did it. She was desperate.
I wonder what their relationship was like. Do you know?
He called her Chica. I feel like this is the extent of their relationship.
Yeah, I noticed. I thought it was kind of cute. Although the nickname seemed to fit Kenzo's style more than Sayori's.
Yeah, that's it.
But she didn't seem to mind. I really prefer MC's Cinnamon Bun nickname. I think he got it from all of you. And I have to say, it really fits her. So good job there, Internet.
Mrs. Ida.
Miss Ida? I guess we did have to talk about her a little this past term. What about her?
Good teacher?
I guess. She definitely has that reputation. I've never had a class with her, so I wouldn't know. The rest of the club all have chemistry with her, though. We operate on sort of a hybrid Japanese-American model for how classes are organized here. Just like with everything else in this hacked-together universe. But anyway, yeah, the others in the club are all very fond of her. Especially Natsuki, for whatever reason. It's strange, since Natsuki usually doesn't get along well with teachers. I guess she either really likes them or really doesn't like them. What is about her that makes her good, do you think?
It seems to be this.
Yeah, that seems to be what all the club members think. MC Natsuki and Yuri all gush about her. Sayori hasn't really said much about Miss Ida, but I'm sure she feels the same. Like I said, I've never had her, so I wouldn't know. But teachers like that are really important. The ones who really care about their students and how they develop. The ones who aren't just doing a job and collecting a paycheck. Although apparently her caring so much about us might be a little bit of a problem for us.
Well, we're not done. Suspicious of the club.
Well, a little. I'm not sure she's figured out that it's tied to the club itself yet. All she knows is that MC and Natsuki had some kind of extraordinary experience that other people wouldn't believe, which they don't think they should talk to her about. She also asked Sayori and Yuri about things generally, but Sayori's a convincing liar, and Yuri danced around it pretty well, she says. So hopefully that's the end of it. Why are you concerned?
Is she even really a character like you are?
Not like we are, no. She doesn't have a curve file. She's just part of our simulation system. But I'm not sure what differences that implies either. As far as I can tell, they're normal people with feelings and awareness, same as us.
I mean, sentience?
The fact that MC got turned into a real person implies that maybe anyone could. Although I guess he was a special case since he was also you, sort of. I don't know. Honestly, the less we need to figure out stuff like that, the better, I'd say.
What about her appearance?
What does she look like?
Didn't you describe her to an email once already? Yes, you did.
I think I answered this in one of the emails. I haven't really seen her around too much, but I know she has long black hair and brown eyes.
MC passes through the room to get a drink. Are you talking about Miss Hariyama? I almost said Hariyama. Hirayama.
No, Miss Ida.
Oh, you got her confused then. Miss Hirayama has the long black hair. Miss Ida is the blonde one with gray eyes.
That's Mrs. Ida?
Yep. MC closes the fridge and returns to the bungalow living room.
Huh. Well, I definitely know who he's talking about now. There's only the one blonde teacher at our school so far as I know. But I guess I had her confused with someone else. What do you want to talk about?
Right, there's more. What Yuri told her.
Well, I obviously wasn't there, of course. But Yuri says she handled it without giving any information. She stuck to the plan and said nothing was wrong with the literature club so far as she knew. She said that she had noticed MC and Natsuki had definitely had some weird experience. But that she thought it was better, in context, not to ask them about it. And that they seemed to be getting along just fine and weren't in any trouble or danger. So I'd say it worked out to plan. You think she'll keep bothering us after that?
But a little bit of methodology here, but yes.
Maybe. The game does tend to focus on things that thinks are important. And it seems to follow certain storylines more than others. So maybe stuff with Miss Ida will keep happening. I don't know. Honestly, I'm shocked it didn't get into the whole gun thing that happened with Sayori. It occurs to me that you probably perceive our lives as kind of story-like given the way in which you perceive them. But it doesn't seem that way to us. There's a lot you never see. And we don't get to skip time like you do. So to us, it's just our normal lives. Try to remember that, won't you?
Alright. Gotta move on to the whole club. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left. Kind of running out of time here. We're gonna close it off this session, guys. I'm gonna tough it out just for you. Bringing back the club.
I'm really glad Sayori talked me into it. I was really against it at first, you know. I meant what I said in that letter I wrote you. But Sayori brought me around to thinking that things could be better with a little work and care. Plus, she leaned on me being able to see you again. And she really knows my weakness.
That's Sayori.
It's been so nice seeing everyone happy. I guess as soon as I stopped making it all about me and just reacted calmly, everything was fine. I'm glad I made the right decision.
Why didn't you want to come back?
I basically laid out a letter I left for you in the normal ending. It seemed like Literature Club was cursed. Whoever was president would go mad from the horror of their knowledge. But I guess what I should have realized earlier is that I made that decision from kind of a rational place. And so obviously I had things at least a little bit together by that point, though I was still emotionally devastated from you deleting me. But clearly it hadn't completely broken me. That's what Siri pointed out after the game was over. Though my decision to end the game clearly meant I was still sane. So that helped convince me.
Alright, more stuff. Is manga literature?
That question just will not go away, will it? Well, I'll tell you what, Hallie. You tell me. Is manga literature?
The debate is a dumb one, but it is.
I see.
Monica walks off to the living room.
Hey, Yuri, come here a second.
Nothing overheard for a moment.
Hey, what? Look, tell them we're going to have a talk about this. Soon. And there you have it. Now, please, let's not discuss that much over-discussed topic more.
Eh. Did I just trip a plot flag? Summer vacation trip.
It's been a lot of fun. It's really nice spending time with the whole club all under one roof. And it hasn't been that uncomfortable bringing up Boyle along since he's spoken for. Plus, MC is a very polite, discreet gentleman.
Hi, discreet. How you doing?
Except when it comes to public affection with Sayori. But yeah, we've been having a lot of fun. Yuri's been mostly off by herself, but that's Yuri for you. Do you have a question about it?
Nah, I don't even know this. What's the summer plan after this?
Probably not much, at least as far as official club activities go. I'll assign everyone a poem topic before we go for the first week of club, or when we come back. Not sure what that topic will be yet. Something will come to me, I'm sure. But we need some kind of chance to just do our own thing and relax. It's nice not to have to worry about anything for a while. But once we do come back, we'll have the fall festival to worry about. That might be a little bit triggering for us because of the last festival. But I'm sure this one will go off without a hitch.
A little bit more. Morning, Pt.1-XE.
You know, I was pretty skeptical at first about being a good idea. But it ended up being pretty fun. And just like Yuri suggested, we've all learned a little bit about coding along the way. Even Natsuki and MC, who aren't that into the whole coding thing. And Sayori, who doesn't like it even if she understands it. I wonder, which of our mods did you like best from this past semester? And honestly, it's fine if it's not mine. I didn't even really like mine.
Let's see. Well... I think I honestly did enjoy this one the most. It's not just because yours is my favorite. I thought Natsuki's was pretty good too. They were all good in their own right, but I liked Yuri's best.
Interesting choice. Yuri had to go first. She didn't have the benefit of more development time. But yeah, given everything, I think she did really well. She clearly knows her horror. If you gave her a few months and a budget, she could probably come up with something pretty terrifying. Oh.
Buttons. Emails from viewers.
That's been one of my favorite parts of our meetings. It's so nice to get messages from all of you and have real conversations with real people. It makes me feel like a part of your world just a little bit more. And everyone else too. Not that conversations with the people in here aren't just as real in most ways. But I don't know, it's a very different perspective. Have you enjoyed us answering emails?
It's okay. Says the guy who wrote an entire mod that was basically nothing is. It's okay, I guess.
Not enthusiastic about it. I guess it does take up a good bit of our time each week. Still, it would be hard to get rid of it at this point. Everyone kind of looks forward to it. When I'm setting up, everyone starts talking about whether they'll get any questions or not. It's pretty cute to watch. So I think I have to keep it going just because it brightens everyone else's day. Hopefully you understand.
Yeah, I guess maybe I'm just a little jaded at this point. Maybe just a little. Let's talk about that time loop.
Kind of weird, isn't it? In theory, I should feel very disturbed about infinitely repeating my senior year of high school. I clicked out again. After all, it means I'll never live a normal life, or at least as normal a life as I could have in here. And I should feel motivated to change things, since doing so is plausibly within my reach. But weirdly, I just feel totally okay with it. And my motivation to change it is pretty meh. And that's basically how everyone else feels about it, too. I think it's something in our cur files that makes us so weirdly indifferent. I'll probably get around to trying to change it sooner or later. But first I want to know if it means we'd be sacrificing our essentially immoral lives in here. Plus, it would take a bit more coding knowledge than I have now to pull off the needed changes. What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, it really doesn't.
I guess it depends on how that senior year goes. We get a bunch of tries to make it right, and things do carry forward. Like, Natsuki will still be in with her same popular crowd, but at the same time, our growth is weirdly stunted. I'd love for us all to grow up and lead real lives.
Buttons.
Wait, Like, what could Sayori become as an adult with a fully developed mind? Could she maybe overcome her depression? And the same for Natsuki and getting out of her house and out on her own? And honestly, Yuri's kind of a genius. If she got a full real life, who knows what she could accomplish? But for all that, I'd trade it all the way if I could just be with you. Sorry for being creepily clingy again. I can't help it.
Yeah, like, the way I see it, like, the advantage to you all being 18 is that you've basically developed fully as young adults. Like, you might have still a little bit more development to do, but 18 is generally where you're about there. So, like, you basically just have infinite youth, and you can continue growing regardless. So, whatever.
Ugh, don't remind me. Even though our summer vacation isn't even half over, I feel like it's going by way too fast. I shouldn't complain too much. School-wise, the year that just went by wasn't too bad for any of us. Other than the horrible revelation about all of us being fictional, simulated constructs. But school-wise, it was fine. Everyone got pretty good grades, although Natsuki's took a bit of a dip. And horrible club incident aside, everyone got through without anything really bad happening. So all in all, pretty good year.
Who's right?
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Rai Takasashi. She's in classes with MC Sayori and Yuri. I think I remember she discussed having a conversation with her and Sayori when he was trying to figure out Sayori's plan for the last week of school. I've only met her once or twice. She seems nice, a little shy, but not too much. Mostly she's just friendly and polite. She seemed a little intimidated by me, but I have that effect on people for whatever reason. But she does get along well with everyone.
That was everything, wasn't it? Yeah, that was it.
Hey, Monica, go over. We're playing a game before we go to bed. We need a fifth. All right, I'm coming. Give me a sec. I had better go join them. Thanks for spending time talking to me. I really enjoyed it. I hope you have fun visiting us. And always remember, I'll always love you for who you are, no matter what, no matter when.
And on that lovely note, I do believe we've covered everything that is in Season 1 of Club Meetings. There is a Season 2. I'm pretty sure they're still wrapping up its last couple of episodes. But I'm going to treat these seasons as separate mods, because I expect that they will be releasing Season 2 as another complete collection that is separate from this one. So, that's going to do it for this series for now. I will be writing my review, posting it on the subreddit sometime soon, and draw a little bit of fan art forward too. So, look forward to that, I guess. And we'll pick up next time with Amor Fati. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This has been Doki Doki Club Meetings, Season 1. See you later.